Welcome to our presentation of transfer of risk for a community manager and community association. We're going to talk about myself, our HOA practice team, and 4 important coverages for a manager and a management company. I'm Andrew Bateman, and our HOA practice specializes in helping protect a community manager and a management firm. We only work with associations. The 4 important coverages that we're going to talk about today are directors and officers coverage, crime and fidelity, an umbrella properly written for a community, and workers' compensation. In regards to directors and officers coverage, what happens if a claim is denied on the association policy? Who's going to pay to cover the manager and, of course, the management firm? Why wouldn't a management firm offer the best available to the board, help them make a business decision, let them accept or deny the policy, but also accept or deny the gaps, and then they fully know what they are accepting? We're transferring the risk from the manager to the board because they've been shown all of the options. Most directors and officers policies are endorsed to the package. We believe that they should be standalone. They're more comprehensive. The most excluded coverages on an endorsed policy is a non-monetary lawsuit. An example of that is the board's failure to maintain the common area, challenges to the architectural review board, or even challenges to the assessments. Breach of contract. Associations are in contracts with vendors every day. Whenever there's a problem or a discrepancy with a breach of contract, lawsuits are brought against boards all the time. Discrimination isn't the most common of claims, but it's always the largest. This is when a member of the association feels that they're not being treated like everybody else in the community. The developer. Is the developer still the declarant on the board? Is it at transition or is it after transition? That developer is still going to be liable for almost 6 years after the date of transition for the decisions made while they were a declarant. Is that developer covered? Failure to procure insurance. Well, that is when the board does not maintain or obtain the correct insurance. That is when you need an insured to value report on property. If you have a condominium that is insured for $10 million and it should be insured for $12 million, that is failure to procure insurance. There's a major problem and boards can be sued for that. Also, are full prior acts covered? Are previous board's decisions covered on the directors and officers? Crime and fidelity. Well, whose name is the crime and fidelity bond in? Is it just in the management firm? Well, if that's the case, then if a board member, spouse, committee member, volunteer, cleaning person, bookkeeper, or accountant embezzles money or takes money from the association, the community management firm's bond will not cover that. You want to make sure you have the broadest definition for the crime and fidelity. You want as many people covered as possible, and you want it in the name of the community. Well, umbrella. It is the least expensive way to increase the community's general liability limits. And a properly written umbrella will cover over the directors and officers and the general liability of the package also. Workers' compensation. This is a very important coverage because all board members are considered non-compensated employees. The associations are nonprofit corporations. They are businesses. They do have employees. That's the board members. And a committee member or volunteer could be considered also if they're ever injured by a community day or volunteering at the association or even slip and falling at a board meeting. This will also help cover uninsured subs, which you should never have any subs in your community that don't have workers' compensation. But what you want to do is transfer the risk again to the insurance company and acquire workers' compensation. Always make sure the policy has been purchased for the community has adequate coverage. It should never be chosen by the manager. Always let the board make the decision. And never have the decision be based on price. It should always be based on coverage. Are you using a checklist to check on what is available, what is not available? Because any coverage that is not covered, the community is self-insuring. That is a gap. And if there's a claim, it will be denied. Standalone policies are always more comprehensive than endorsed. Is your association at risk? Reach out to us for a free evaluation of your association. We'll need to read your covenants, your bylaws, and your present insurance. Thank you very much. I'm Andrew Bateman.